Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another new video for Street Fighter Duel. This time we'll be adjusting the tier list for August 2024. Now this time we're gonna do it differently. This time it's not only my opinion or the way that I see and my friends see. We rallied up a little bit of people. We did some information. We did a big spreadsheet. Hopefully they will be finished with the spreadsheet by the 15th of August, and I can share it on the channel with you all to go and look about it. It's due to hard work of many people with Genoa, he's the man that he did all of that, and Whitaker was one to help them, and Sarah, that is a big contributor to this community. They sat down, gathered the information throughout global from EU to NA, and they did all the spreadsheets, the teams that are most used, the units that are most used, the most that are convenient with your lineups and that you can build them, and how often free to play they are and what investment they need to do. And we'll be adjusting some things. We talked about this. I told them I don't want to make major changes. Just tell me what ones that I need to lift up and which ones that I need to bring down a little bit. And we talked about it, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now for this tier list, we're gonna start with the SS. Of course, all of them mostly stay on the tier list because they are commonly used in many lineups and scenarios. Still, we have Rich Honda, which is the best character in the special summon category because he's good for bossing, PvP, and for PvE, and he will help you a lot. Now, another characters that we were talking about, who's better than who, and who to build first other than the other one. Overlord Bison is absolutely fantastic. I would put him on the highest scale as possible. You can put him before Visconde Vega or Visconde Vega before him. It doesn't matter. Actually, Overlord Bison counters Visconde Vega, while Visconde Vega counters anybody that has immunities, and he bypasses them. He will help you through clearing stages, he will help you through bossing, and he will help you in PvP, similar to Overlord Bison. They're the same character, I would say, but one of them bypasses immunities, the other one can never be killed unless you kill everybody on the lineup. Again, Bison will always stay up there because you need to kill him by bypassing immunities. If somebody else is alive, he will never die unless you can trigger him and kill him by bypassing his immunity. Athlete Chun-Li is still a best support in the game. That's not my opinion, that's a fact. Everybody are using her. Now we are seeing her used with Gouken, Visconde Vega on the same lineup, and they're absolutely crushing everybody because she gives you the reduction for the damage taken, and she buffs and apply damage throughout herself. If you get her to 6 out of 6 triple S, she will absolutely be secondary carry in your lineup. Fire Adon, no need to speak about him. He's used everywhere actually, and he's one of the best characters in the game. Gouken, absolutely the best tank in the game. Now Ryu, this version of Ryu is absolutely fantastic. He's used almost everywhere. He's now becoming one of the solid units for you to build. If you can get the resources, why not build him? He's absolutely fantastic. Summer Elena, the cheapest SSD character as for full investment. If you want to build her, max her out, you go to double S plus 30 and that's it. You don't need to continue and build her cars or whatever, but if you get her to triple S and build her cars, she will be awesome. Actually, she's the character that is super nice. You can use her at A rank, you can use her at S rank, but the pivotal point for her is SS because she will be invulnerable or immune to damage throughout 3 seconds or something like that. The best normal support in the game, Street Poison. Still for now, she's one of the best units because her time of using her C1, and you can accumulate it and you can stack it and stack it and stack it endlessly. Absolutely fantastic unit. She's a great unit actually. She's one of the best supports in the game so far since the release. And she's there on the throne as free-to-play option or low-spender option or any account-friendly option that you can use her. Similar to her, Viper, from the start of the game till the end of the game, she maintains her spot as one of the best PvP characters, bossing characters, and story stages characters. You need her, you need to build her, go and build her. I know people are building from the start Dhalsim. Dhalsim is amazing, but she's absolutely fantastic. She gives you buffs with her shields, plus she protects you, plus she gives you combo meter, and she does incredible amount of damage, and she ramps up really quickly with her combo meter. Suitable until now, one of the best tanks that came into the game that was competing with Gouken. Absolutely fantastic. His shields are better than the normal Abel. This is why he comes higher on the tier list than him. Dan, I was talking about Dan, and we were having a debate and discussion, and some people were unhappy of Dan being here on the tier list. So I wanted to remove him. I told them because of the community, and they told me, don't care about the community. Don't care about emotions, care about facts. They showed me the numbers, they showed me the teams, and they told me he's been used in PvP and in bossing most of the time, and in PvE. The thing about him that people don't know, that he's a direct counter to any tag position, especially if you're fighting a Summer Elena team and you're faster than them. He'll use his C1, he'll drag her from the tag position, and you can immediately kill her before they start their combo, and she gets immune, which is absolutely fantastic. I love the way that he plays. We've seen him in bossing. He's replacing Rose in some teams for bossing because of his buffs defensively and offensively. Absolutely amazing, and he aggro himself so you don't take damage. Absolutely one of the great characters. I don't know how people can see it. Some idiots will tell you, oh, Psychodan, why is he here? But I talked to the people, I told them, I just want to remove him and put him a tier lower. And they told me, absolutely not. If people are idiots, it's not your fault. Again, talking about Bizengir, from the start of the game, he's the best AoE stunner. So yeah, he will maintain it here because he's pivotal for the story. You need him for the story for 5 teams. He will be absolutely detrimental. Now, of course, you can go and clear it with power creeping. But if you want to go basically and clear it as free-to-play or low spender, or you really need a solid team that you will not have a lot of problems and retries, absolutely fantastic. Even Ryu, we don't need to talk about. The TMNT, of course, starting with Leonardo, one of the best characters as collab that they gave us throughout the game. Absolutely fantastic. He's another Visconti Vega in my eyes. Absolutely great damage, bypasses immunities and everything else. Michelangelo, a tank that will never die. He doesn't die. I don't know what's wrong with him. He just accumulates stacks so fast that he can never die. Cheating death with Donatello and the buffing that he gives. We're seeing him on lineups without the TMNT, only himself. He works by himself and he works with other people. Keep in mind that you need him on the main lineup. You don't need to put him in tag position or he loses his passives. Flame Chun, again, one of the best characters in the game as a support, as a legendary that came with the best lineup and team, which is Rich Honda, Fire Adon, herself, and Sweet Poison. Absolutely fantastic. This is a bossing team, 100%. Now, you can use her in story, she's not that impactful. You can use her in tower, she's not that impactful. And in PvP, that's not impactful. The best thing is to use her on the team, which is the bossing team. It's the best bossing team so far, and she's on it. So you can't downplay it and put it on S rank and say she's only for bossing. She's mandatory if you're paying money. She's the only character that, in my eyes, that is worth for paying and going after. If it was for me, if I'm not free to play, I would go for her. Now, Rose have been lifted up to the SS category. Why is that? Now, on my priority list, I told you never summon to her. I stand by my word, and with these people that helped me with this tier list, they said, yes, never summon for her. You can get her free by time. You can acquire her and summon for and get her. Don't go and summon for definition for her, because there's another priority for characters that you need to summon for, and she's not that impactful because she's replaceable until you hit a point that you need the 5 teams or bossing teams. Psychodan can replace her in many bossing teams, which is absolutely fantastic. You can play anybody else that would help you in that position, but she is one of the great units. She's so flexible that you can put her on any team. There's no team in the entire game that you can't fit her in, and she will do great because of the buffing, the healing, and relapsing the time for you to survive. Now, this will be shocking for you, but I will just do it for the sake of the statistics. Statistic-wise, we're having Akuma and we're having Oni on the best lineups for PvP, for bossing, and some PvP lineups. They're the most common used. I think Akuma, because he was used already, or he was the first character to be introduced to the Street Fighter Duel as a special summon ticket character, and everybody summoned for him, including myself. But so far, he's been so impactful and so good that I am using him in bossing, in PvP and in PvE. Similar to people who built Oni, absolutely fantastic. He's better than the other Street Fighter Duel characters that are from the special summon tickets, because he offers this soul damage, which is equivalent to pure damage, unless any other thing or conditions that tell you soul power damage that does not deal the same amount of damage. Absolutely fantastic units. Now, of course, I'll put Flame Chun in the end. I'll put them before here. Let me put them here. She's not a special summon, so here. And these are special summon characters. So yeah, these are, you can say, a little bit pay to win, and she's completely pay to win. But these characters are hard to get, but still top tier, so I'll put them before that. If you built Oni and you have him on your lineup, and you don't have problems with finding another carries for your lineups, you're already having an AoE powerhouse, which is Oni, and he will help you a lot, unless you gather up some resources and build Leonardo, build Visconti Vega, build Bison, Overlord Bison and such as unit like that. You already have Guile, you already have Dalsim, you already have Viper, so you have these 3 characters to fill the spots until you build these characters. But he's absolutely used. He's used more than Overlord Bison is used now. He's used more than Visconde Vega is used, because people rushed and built him before they built these units, and he's used in most lineups. So I'm showing you the most used units and where they are used. They're absolutely top tier units. Single target, Akuma is one of the best single target units in the game. Now, of course, in my opinion, Oni is better, but the numbers and the rankings show that the people that are using Akuma are still in the top ranks, are dominating with him, PvP wise and bossing wise. Of course, in the story, it's flexible, you can use him anywhere you want. Now, Raphael is still the least favorable character for TMNT in usage in the game. Still is a high priority. People who didn't build Michelangelo are using him, who didn't build Donatello are using him, but he needs to be on the main lineup. You can't put him in tag position. And some people built the 4 of them and they're using him as a support, as an assist character on another unit. So SS, I would say, is a good baseline to go to. Elena still one of the best, probably the best healer in the game, fighting with who does more heals. Now, another unit that is healing the same amount, almost the same amount, not the same amount, which is Diviner Rose, but Diviner Rose does not do the things, or not as accessible or free to play as Elena, so this is why she's here. Guy is one of the units that we were debating of putting him in the SS category or the S category. He's been used so much lately. He's been absolutely detrimental for some lineups. He's absolutely replacing lineups that requires different units. He's built and been used more than the Taos Gen usage so far, but absolutely he deserved this spot. I wouldn't recommend highly to be better than other units. If you have better units, you can use them instead of him, but he absolutely fell in the spot because of the damage reduction that he does. Absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, Wrestling Hugo, another great character. His C1 buff is amazing and he can tank like crazy. Absolutely a great unit. Dalsim, Guile, we're not gonna talk about them. They're absolutely fantastic as free-to-play option or low spender. You can use them anywhere in the game until you build other characters. Abel, he's used in one lineup and he's best in slot in one lineup for bossing in the guild crusade, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's versus Anomi or something like that. He's absolutely great. His shields are sustainable. You can replace him with Suit Abel, but so far the highest numbers are done with using him on the lineup, so he maintained here. Plus his shields are great. Sagat, a great unit. He has, you can say he has 3 lives. Of course, bypassing his immunities with somebody like Leonardo or Visconde Vega is something that you can counter him. But so far, he's one of the great units as support, tank, and buffer, debuffer, and damage dealer, and the stunner. Absolutely fill all roles. This is why he deserves this spot. I would highly recommend putting him in the SS, but this is what shows the lineups that he's been used, and he's an old unit that everybody did build. Seth still maintained his position. Still, we didn't find the perfect lineup that he's been used with, but many people are using him with Overlord Bison, and it's absolutely fantastic because he goes back and he heals himself. Absolutely a good unit, solid unit. Can never go wrong building him. Taos Gen, absolutely crazy. Many people were comparing him with Rich Honda, but he still doesn't do the same things as Rich Honda. It's the way that you play them wrongly sometimes. If you play perfectly with Rich Honda, you mainly double the damage that you get on your lineup. But Taos Gen is absolutely a great unit. If you don't have Rich Honda, even 1 copy of him, you can replace him with Taos Gen until you get 1 copy of Rich Honda, then you toss Taos Gen to another lineup, and that's how it works. Now, again, many people are hating why I'm putting Summer Yang up here. Summer Yang is an absolute powerhouse for the Fire Tower. He's great in PvP. His shieldings are amazing. Plus, his C2 sometimes give you, when you apply armor break, give you combo meter. Absolutely a great unit. One of the best supports in my opinion. I enjoy playing him. Plus, you can do a cheesy mechanic with him. While using his C1 or his C2, he can go behind the other units so they can hit the air and miss completely their attacks. Absolutely a flexible unit. Now, Zangief is always used. In many bosses, he's best in slot for disabling their passives. A unit that has 1 mechanic and it's disabling passives that none other unit have it in the game, and we hope that they bring somebody like can AoE disable passives, can make him a Street Fighter like a special summon unit. It will be absolutely awesome. Honda, again, used in a PvP manner and in the tower, electric tower, and in story mode. Absolutely fantastic. His stun is consistent. He doesn't die, he has immunity. He gives you the wall that it will eliminate all the range attack. Still from now, I'm still proud for my lineup that I created before, and now it's been replaced with one unit, and I'll be talking about it. The lineup that I created was Honda with Zangief and Bison. Now Bison is replaced with Overlord Bison for more damage and sustainability and everything that he does, because he deals more damage than the normal Bison. But it's still the same lineup that you can play. Until today, it's been played. Fashion Blanca, again, he will not lose his value. Flexible unit, legendary unit that can be played with the fire comps. Absolutely fantastic. Gormagala can, yes, dropped from up there because his buffs are not consistent. His debuffs are amazing. He can bring the attack position. His damage is consistent, and he applies the curse. Absolutely fantastic. Now, Dante. Dante is a great unit. Dante became better when they upgraded him and buffed him. Now, when you completely build him, max him out, he reduces also the damage reduction from the bosses, which make him a good bossing unit for you to apply this debuff on the boss and deal even more damage. Virgil, he's a great unit for the synergy of the Undying team. So you play him with Overlord Bison, with Bison, or with Witch Jury, or with Sagat, and everybody will be happy. Sometimes they're playing them with with Honda, normal Honda, and it's working fine. Sometimes with Goken, the entire team doesn't die. Absolutely great unit. Nero, in my opinion, for me, if I wasn't free to play, 2 units I would buy in the game. It's Flame Chun and Nero. Nero, absolutely fantastic unit. As a tank that self-sustains and can interrupt, absolutely fantastic. Rufus, again, one of the best supports and healers in the game, but you don't need that since we have accessibility to other characters that you can replace him with. Still a great buffer. If you have him, it means you have a buffer that you can replace Elena with, because he can buff and can deal a little bit of good damage, plus he will heal you absolutely like her. One unit that is super overpowered right now, a great unit actually, the only B rank that is used for free-to-play and low spenders on every single 5-team comps. There's a team comp that have him. Absolutely a great unit. I will not be talking about that. Go watch my previous videos how we're using him. A great unit so far. Guile, so Trendy Guile and Trendy Akuma, both of them are great. I would say similar to Oni. The good thing about Oni is he's more consistent and deals more damage on many scales, except when soul damage is reduced. For Guile, he's great. He's your main carry if you build him for Electric Tower, and for bossing, he does great amount of damage. Similar for Trendy Akuma. The bad thing about Trendy Akuma, he's using the Annihilation only one time. If he can use Annihilation twice or 3 times, he will be even in the top tier, better than Oni, in my opinion. Now, again, we upgraded the Cammy and Vega characters. They are being used in many lineups, especially in bossing for free to play and for low spenders. Most commonly, they're using them for bossing and PvP and the Fire Tower. Yet again, for story mode, we are seeing them a lot. For people who build them 6 out of 6 plus 30, they're spamming this lineup and it's endless. It doesn't stop. They're continuously dealing damage, and they defeat the story mode or the fight that they have in the story with like 10 to 15 seconds. Absolutely great units, in my opinion. Great units, not just only in my opinion, but the spreadsheet doesn't lie for that. Now, of course, Poison, normal Poison is a great unit for Thunder Tower. If you don't have Trendy Guile as a carry, she's your main carry. Mad Ryu doesn't do anything. Chun-Li is a very good utility unit. Goes great with the early team that was created with Viper. She's a battery that gives you combo meter, and she enhances crit. Great unit. Witch Jury also goes with the Invincible team, but she's mainly used as a fodder on your lineup, or a unit that can't die and tank a little bit and stall the game, or she can be an assist for units that lacks or needs lifesteal, such as Visconti Vega and other units. Trendy Cammy, until now, she's used. People who built her still use her for some lineups if they don't have Oni, if they don't have any other carry that deals a lot of damage. She's also one of the best units. And for the guild fights, when you get the bosses, the guild bosses, the Withered Fortress and stuff like that, she's still best in slot for damage. Not best in slot. When I say best in slot, it's always after Fire Aidon team comp. She's best in slot. This is what I mean. Dhalsim, Trendy Dhalsim also goes well with Trendy Cammy. Absolutely good. But the thing is that you can replace him, you can use different units. Still a good unit if you build him. He's used, especially in story mode. Sometimes we see him in PvP, but he's not that focused. We use him as an assist sometimes. Blanca, one of the best free-to-play options if you build him and get him to 6 out of 6, because he will stun passively, but it's RNG. So I still use him in some story modes. A good tanky unit. He gives you buffs for your teams. He gives electric to your team. Absolutely good one. Schoolgirl Elena. Still until now, we're seeing her in many bosses for people who built her and went and bought her and didn't buy other units. A great unit actually, but so far she's not used everywhere. She's used on, I would say, people who purchased it, 50%. I think the graph that I saw was 48% or something that who bought her is using her. A great unit. She's really good with her kit. But the thing is that she doesn't deal the same amount of damage as the other units. If you built Oni, Oni will deal more damage than her, and that's a fact. Now, another unit that we want to bring up to the A character, which is Viper. You can always go and purchase her. She's also a purchasable character. She's a good damage dealer, actually, and we're seeing her on many lineups for people who built her. Still, they have this delusion that she deals more damage than other characters and she can carry you and stuff. Well, yeah, Trendy Kami can carry you the same and she deals the same damage. We actually compared them together and still Trendy Kami came on top of her on many occasions. Some fights she did better than her. Sometimes Schoolgirl Elena did better than Trendy Kami, better than her. Trendy Gal sometimes did better than them. So it's a little bit like, why would you buy a unit that is replaceable by other summoned units? Still, she's a good character actually. For my testing, I did test her before. I didn't find her that much useful, but because of the way that we're doing this tier list is what is been used more often than others and how's the percentages going. For the people who purchased her, they're using her until they understand that there are better units. Now, for the B rank, these units are specifically, if I want to talk and describe them, most likely the first row of the units are for assist. So Cody, Mayor Cody, Fei Long, Yan and Yang, Gen, and Cammy are used in assist most of the time. Now Gen is especially, you can use him in a different option. Fei Long sometimes in a different option, and Yan for a different option as well, or Yang. And you can use their C1, their C2. Once upon a time, Gen was one of the good units for bossing. He's not anymore. He can use for stall. You can use him for interruptions sometimes with his Shadow Clone, or you can use him in assist. These are great assist units. Other than that, you can use the C1 for Yang for more crit rate. You can use Fei Long for enhancing fire damage, but you can use him as an assist also for fire damage. Diviner Rose, she's being a great solid unit actually, and we're seeing her more often. She's doing a lot of things because people are building these healers and these supports. Now, she's not like a mandatory to have, but some lineups, there's a little bit of lineups that goes comps with each other that she becomes best in slot for them. So she was graded higher. I hate her personally. If I'm biased, I'll put her in the D rank. For me, she's useless because the percentage that they gave her on dispelling is absolutely bad. Because this is a very expensive unit to build to get the plus 36 out of 6, and this is only the percentage that she gets. I wish that they buff her a little bit so she becomes even better, so we can go and summon for her and make her a better unit. Makoto, we still use her. She will stay in B rank. We were talking about should we put her in A or keep her in B. We will keep her in B rank. She's a good solid unit for dodging and evading, but a must hit damage will hit her and kill her immediately. She's not as tanky as we thought. She's as tanky if she dodge. If she doesn't dodge, she's not that tanky. Summer Ibuki, still a great unit, used in many lineups. She's also versatile, just like a Rose. You can use her in many lineups, but her damages are not that insane. The unit that I would say that is better than her as a unit that can be used as a trigger character, it is Juri. Baddest Juri is really good actually, and she is used in some lineups more often than Summer Ibuki. I'll keep her here because she's a special summon character, so I'll keep her in this area. And these are paid characters, so I'm gonna keep them here. So Vega, still used for people who use him. He's most likely demoted to an assist, but he's still used. He's really good actually for one-shotting and one-tapping. He's a monster in single target, but again, he does 10% of what Akuma does, and that's crazy for me, actually. So this is why we're not seeing him. Why build him if you can build Athlete Chun-Li or Ryu, which is absolutely crazy. Now, Mummy Dalsim, a great unit, I think, in my opinion. But he deserved this ranking because he's not used outside the tower, And whenever you use him, the poison, I think that we need a buffer for the poison, somebody to enable him more. I think his kit is really good. They did nerf him from the release from other versions that he used to play. In China, he was absolutely fantastic, and here he is not even good. For Viper, this version of Viper is interesting because we didn't see accurate numbers. In Europe, they don't use her that much, but in USA, they use her a lot, and the Brazilian players never use her. So we've seen a little bit, so we're still trying to find a spot for her. Still not used in the best lineups in the game. The C2 of Guy is used a lot. It's the only good thing about him. If you get him to +20, you can get him to +30. Ryu is being used as an assist. I would put him up here because his early game is a really good character. To a little bit of the mid game, he will drop off and you'll never use him. Divination Sakura is really a good character as well. But the thing is, why to build her when these top units are there and you can build them? She's not being spectacular with her kit. And the Water Chun, oh my god, why didn't they make her Wind? They made her a paid character, which absolutely nobody buying her or doing anything with her. Fashion Can, once upon a time, was one of the great characters for damage, demoted for assist, and now he's barely used on any lineup. Jinin Ibuki, great unit. She's so slow, she whips and misses her attacks. I wish they function or fix this function that they target the backline and they can immediately hit them. It's a must hit. Hyugo is a character that we've been seeing in the fire towers as a tank. He's better than Makoto for tanking and sustainability if you can get him with the C2, but she can take 0 damage on the lineup if there's nobody to must hit her. I would say he's a okay unit, but we don't see them. All of these, we don't see them on main lineups or in bossing or PvP or anywhere. Makoto, her C2, hit or miss. His C1 is the only thing that makes Dudley a good unit, actually. I use him in my 5 lineups. I use his C1 to interrupt. The C2 of, again, for DJ, the shielding buffing is absolutely inaccurate or bugged in the game. We're still trying and hoping that they will look at this, the devs. We talked with them, and hopefully we're gonna get a response. We got a response that people are looking at this. They're looking at all the feedbacks. I wish that they give us a better version of him or fix him. Still, his C2 is for the stun, but it's the 8th hit, and it has a low, like timing it is very hard. El Fuerte, a unit that came to the game just for like, hey, here's a new character. He can buff bleed and he can buff armor break, but that's it, and his buffs are not that consistent. T-Hawk also still been used as an assist sometimes to dispel. It works sometimes it doesn't work. Combat Guile, early game he's good and then he falls off. He also dispels. Jury, still we're waiting for a major fix for her. Acorn DiCapri, she's a good unit in my opinion, but she's not used. She's used a little bit, let me check. Yeah, okay, she's used a little bit, so we're gonna put her here. On some lineups for people who did build her, does a relatively good amount of damage actually, but she's not used in many lineups. She's been used for the people who built her on story mode, not for bossing, not for PvP. And now for DiCapri, she's a unit for speed early game. You can use her on the fire tower, you can use her for teams, and that's it. Charming Dudley as an assist for mitigating a little bit of healing. Sagat, we're still seeing him as a horrible character with his kit. It's not, the kit does not make sense with his clones. His clones does not attack, so what's the reason for them to summon it? He's going good with characters that if units die on your lineup, the units will deal more damage. So if Jury was working fine with her kit, if all of his clones die, she will get buffed massively and she will go and hit like a truck, but we're not seeing that synergy. Balrog, unused unit, useless. You can use him as an assist. He will help a little bit. You can use him on the main lineup as a pseudo tank that will give you the passive of mitigating a little bit of damage. This Adon is absolutely, the normal Adon is a failure in the game. His kit on paper looks broken, but he's broken in a bad way. Sakura is the least unit that you want to buy. Of course, we're gonna put her up here. She's the least unit that you want to buy as a paid character for a legendary, but still she has a good thing in her kit. She can heal and survive and get immunity, but she doesn't offer that much, and I wouldn't highly recommend anybody to build her. And yeah, that was it for the updated tier list for August, and we did a little bit of fix. Hopefully in the Other update, we're gonna make more fixes, and maybe somebody will go up, somebody will go down, depending on the usage and on the spreadsheet. When it finishes completely, I'll be updating it for the next month. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, I thank you for watching, and as always, stay for us. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up.